São 6h40, não é? Acho que sim. São 6h40. A Shannon made me promise que nós íamos começar mesmo quase em cima da hora. Não vai? Portanto, vamos lá, vamos em frente. Hoje temos aqui muito gosto em falar sobre uma coisa que eu conheço bem. So I'll try to make some small English sentences in between. Okay. But I guess most of you are Portuguese, right?
There are also some people from Turkey.
Turkey.
Oh, very good. Okay. So when you don't, well, this is going to be a challenge. Okay. Any problem if I speak in English from start to finish? Yeah. Good. Yes. Fantastic. Okay, good. It's going to be interesting. Actually, most of the slides are in English, so I only have a few in Portuguese, and I'll translate those for you guys. Okay. Good. So let's start. This is our first event called Learning from Failures, and you know it's going to be fun, I'm sure, for you, not for me, because I'm going to talk about my failure. Okay, but I'll do my best, and I'll try to be as honest as possible. I will not hide anything, and I'll also be available for any questions that you want to ask me. Okay, and no holds barrels, so you can do whatever you wish. Okay, good. You know Fabrica startups? Some of you do. Okay. So I'll be brief about that. I will just tell you that this is the place for you to come if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Okay? That's it. So now I'm going to tell you about failure. And I'm going to tell you something that happened not that long ago. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of the reasons why I'm here today, is the fact that I did fail. Unfortunately, it was not the first time. And it was not also the last one. And, you know, and this is the way it is. Now, one day, maybe we will do a presentation about learning from success. Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I could talk about some. As you can imagine, otherwise I wouldn't even be here. I'll be doing something else. Yeah, but failure was the most interesting thing that happened in my life. No, not really. No, but I learned a lot. So I'd like to tell you a story. This is a story that started, as a matter of fact, a long time ago. It started in August of 1987. And in August of 1987, I started my first company called Methodist. And I had just arrived from the US and decided to start the company. As a matter of fact, I don't know how to do anything else, so I had to start the company. I couldn't do other jobs. I didn't even try that much. The only job I had in my life was working with a company that doesn't exist anymore. It was called Harper Anderson in the US. But that wasn't a very interesting experience, so I decided to start my own company. That was 1987. And what we did for quite a few years, until more or less, well, for more than 25 years, was develop the business based on helping financial institutions work better. We honestly believe that we could help them be more productive, do it in a better way. And we have done a lot of work on financial institutions for document management, workflow, process management, that kind of stuff. So I think I knew a little about how to do that, how to implement processes inside a company. In 2009, I went to San Diego, and I went to San Diego to an event. It's called Demo. Anyone knows what Demo is all about? Okay. Demo is a big event that happens twice every year in the US, and I think now also in Europe, some places all around. And it's a place where you go and you make a pitch, and you present to a big audience of investors. We're talking about something like 1,000 people there on that. And so you have the opportunity to tell them about your amazing product or service. Startup. And some of those people are so interested that maybe they will give you some money. So I went there and I thought, this is a nice place. I like this. You know, this is great. So I remember that at that time I actually said, I want to be here. This is not in correct order, because I was in San Diego and I said to myself, I want to be here. I want to be not here. I want to be there. I want to be on the stage. I want to present my idea. And you know, life I think happens because we make decisions. And this was a very important decision, because I know that for sure, if I had not decided there on that moment that I wanted to be there, that probably wouldn't have happened. Of course, now on hindsight, you know, seeing it from now, from today, I wish I, no, I liked it. It was fun. And I went there, and I said, I want to be there. Then we started the project when I came back. And we did the first trial. We went to Seed Camp. We were invited to present at Seed Camp in Barcelona in July of 2010. And then in September 2010, I was at Santa Clara, and I made my pitch. And I'll show you the pitch in a few minutes. Okay? But before I do that, I'd like to share with you something. And that was, well, after this. Oh, no. Okay, good. So I'll tell you about what I did. Not what I did, what the team did. Starting in last, I think, third quarter of 2009, we started developing a project. And that project was called ActionFlow. And the project started because I had worked a lot in big companies, helping them, implementing their processes. And so I thought, well, if big companies can benefit so much because now they work better by following all these workflows, why not have some small, medium-sized companies also take advantage of that? And you know, in 2009, we were already starting to talk about the cloud. You know, we were starting to talking about software as a service. And we decided, well, let's do this. Let's bring all this knowledge that we have about process management. I'm still talking in Portuguese, in English until you tell me to stop. Is this really okay, or can you follow in Portuguese? No? Okay, good. So, I thought that it would be interesting to leverage the knowledge that we had, you know, more than 20 years, of working on business process management and help small, medium-sized businesses, and also leverage the new technology, the visibility of having something running on the web, and so that everyone could use it. You know, it was the web, and specifically the cloud, that made many of these services available for a very low price point. We were used to go to a company and sell them $500,000 project, or sell them you know, 250,000 euros projects. And that was the typical ticket for this type of systems. And then the cloud came, and that made available many of these solutions to small, medium-sized business. So we decided to do that, and we created ActionFlow. And our motto, as you can see, is less stress, more success. Okay? Less stress, more success. And we did a pitch. We started to explain to the investors that the problem that we were addressing is a problem that many of you have. I'm sure that you know how it is when you are in the business, especially if it's a small business. There is always very little time. You have so much to do, and you are always under stress. There's a lot of pressure. And you know, the problem that we had at the time was that we felt that something had to be done. That we had to help these small to medium-sized businesses run at least as, well, let's say, you know, even big, large companies, they have their own problems and they fail in terms of their own processes. But at least they were doing it in a better way than small to medium-sized businesses. So we thought, well, let's bring this to small to medium-sized businesses. We want to help them so that they have a little less stress. We want them to have a better life. We want them also to not fail as much, because we knew, and it's still true, that most small and medium-sized businesses, they do fail. They end up bankrupt. So we want to do that. We knew that there was a lot of small and medium-sized businesses that were actually companies that were in trouble and needed help. And we thought strongly that there was a way to help them. And so we came up with something that we call ActionFlow. And that was, you know, best image that we could come up with is image that you can see there. It's like a GPS. It's a GPS for small to medium-sized businesses. So it's you know, something that inside the company you get instructions for what you have to do every day. You get a list of tasks, but not just for one person, for everyone in the company. And so if you had something to do, like recruiting a person, you knew that all the people that were involved, they would get the right task at the right moment. Okay? So that was the thinking that was around this concept of helping small to medium-sized businesses implementing their processes. So we came up with this solution, and the whole idea was to make this thing really simple. And we want them to be able to buy what we call the flow. Go there, leverage a library of flows. So flow is like a process, like a recipe, right? So it's just a set of instructions that you can follow. And the idea was, these small, medium-sized users, they could come to this place. They would see all these different processes, and that would be best practices. And they could buy them for a very low price, very, very low price. We were not talking about spending, 100,000 or 10,000 or even 1,000 or even actually 100. We were talking about them paying very little for each of these flows, so that they could immediately have the flows running in the company, and everything would start running smoothly. So they would come to the place, they would buy a flow, they would learn how we were recommending them to do something, and then they would make some changes, some adaptations. Not everything runs exactly the same way in all different companies. And then they could start the flow. And once they start the flow, all the tasks will be assigned to different persons. And as people do the work, more tasks will be assigned to different people until the end of the process. So we'll also give them some metrics, and they would know how to manage their tasks. So simple stuff, something that we have done a lot for big corporations, but we felt that it would also be interesting for small to medium-sized businesses. So we released ActionFlow, totally based on the web. We have a site, ActionFlow.com. We did crowdsourcing for the logo, ActionFlow. I'm a strong believer in crowdsourcing. However, in this case, I will tell you a small story within the big story, because big story is about my failure. This is something that happened that also is very interesting. At that time, there was a platform that is still going on. You probably know it's 99designs.com. So we decided that let's do it. Let's do our logo on 99 Designs. So we came up with a briefing. We uploaded the briefing. We also told them about some logos that we liked very much. And we waited, and we got lots of people. Even today, if you go to 99 Designs, you can see our request at that time. We got lots of logos, and we choose this one that you see here. It's not that bad, actually. It was nice. And we paid $200 and something. So it was really inexpensive, and we had a lot to choose, and we were comfortable. The only thing that we didn't know is that there is always, well, not always, sometimes we are faced with surprises, and with people that, how should I say this? Well, I'll tell you the story, and then you can make the judgment that you want. There was someone in the US that saw us on 99 Designs, and that someone decided that he was smarter than ourselves, so he decided to trademark ActionFlow. So one day, I was talking with my other friends on this team, and we said, well, it would be also a good idea before we go to them and make this public to trademark ActionFlow, right? To our surprise, when we got there, just a few days, 2 days before, this guy had made the request for the trademark, and he actually won the trademark, and then he sent us an email, and he said, I have a trademark. How much do you pay? Okay, so there is always a dark side to things. In this case, you just make sure that if you want to do a logo on 99 Designs on any of these platforms, please have the trademark before, the request for a trademark before. Otherwise, you may get into trouble. Okay, so we did that. We launched the site, and then we did a pitch. We did a pitch at the demo, and I'm going to show you the pitch, and then I will tell you why I don't like this pitch. Okay? So, not just because of what happened later, it's also something else. But maybe you can help me. Okay, good. Where is the pitch? Someplace. Well, I can go to YouTube. How embarrassing this is. Okay. Not yet, because I didn't press the play. Oh, that's worse. Okay. But it will happen. I'm sure this is such an amazing presentation that everyone has to see it. Yeah, good. So now we need sound. No sound yet. Because the thing is here, it's...
friend of mine. I was expecting it to be a joyous occasion.
Wait a second.
After all, I knew that this company had just reached $20 million in revenue.
Okay. So. Now, bring this in up. I don't know why. Okay, so this is my pitch. You know, before I tell you, on demo, what happens is the following. You make a proposal to them. They get thousands of proposals for them. And then they choose based on the application. And then they call you and they do an interview. They want to know if at least you speak English, because it's all in English. And also, they make some tricky questions. For some reason that I guess it's because it was the first Portuguese startup that ever happened to be at demo, they decided we should go. And so we went. And they gave us, this is a very intensive 2-day thing with lots and lots of people, a lot of coverage. And they gave us 5 minutes? 6 minutes. Exactly 6 minutes. And if you go more than 6 minutes, they really come to the stage and take you out. So that never happens. So I had 6 minutes to make a presentation in the middle of many other presentations. And so I did this. So I'll show you. Live and laugh. Okay.
Let me start by telling you a personal story. A few months ago, I had lunch with a good friend of mine. I was expecting it to be a joyous occasion. After all, I knew that this company had just reached $20 million in revenue with customers in 3 different countries. I was surprised when I saw him. He looked much older. During lunch, my friend complained about long hours at the office, about the people they had just hired, about his customers and his suppliers. It only felt like a juggler, with too many balls in the air, unable to do everything, letting some balls drop to the floor. He was totally stressed out. 2 weeks later, my friend had a heart attack. He was only 35 years old. Our aim with ActionFlow is to make running a business less stressful. It's to make your life more enjoyable. It's to increase the odds of your business being successful. ActionFlow.com is a place on the web where you can find an extensive set of predefined business processes. A process is a sequence of tasks that have to be done for things to happen in your business. It's like a GPS system for your business. A system that will tell you, step by step, what you have to do to reach your destination. Currently, we have more than 50 different business processes at your disposal. You can choose processes related to marketing, sales, customer service, human resources, strategy, social media marketing, and other areas of business activity. Let's assume that you'd like to start a social media marketing campaign. Now, your options before ActionFlow were to learn about it and spend a lot of time trying to figure out what this thing is, or you could hire an expert. With ActionFlow, we now have another option. Let's take a look at how ActionFlow can help you. Now you log in, and you browse through an extensive set of available processes organized in different categories. You select the social media process, and you buy it using your credit card. You then go to Make Flow. You learn about your new social media process, and you adapt the process to your needs by deleting, adding, or changing tasks. For example, you could change the instructions of a task, and you could add an action item to a checklist. To initiate your new social media marketing process, you go to Start Flow, you find the process on the list, and you click on it. Now, you will have to give it a title and assign people to different roles that this process requires. In this demo, I'll be the CEO, Marta will be the marketing manager, and Sarah will be the marketing assistant. You then press Start Flow, and immediately the system starts sending the right tasks to all appropriate recipients. Now you can see your tasks in any device that is connected to the internet, including your iPhone, your laptop, or your iPad. You open a task, you read instructions, you look at the attachments, and you update the task checklist as you proceed doing your work. And once your work is done, you press Complete. And the next task will be sent to the right person. In this case, Sarah finds out a new task by email. She reads instructions, and immediately she starts doing her work. Now, you can relax, knowing that if an important task is not done on time, you will get an alert. With ActionFlow, you can also create your own business processes. And if you want, you can sell the process that you created by adding them to the ActionFlow catalog and making them available for other people to review and purchase. ActionFlow.com is the first business process marketplace. A place where you can find new ways to make running your business less stressful and increase the odds of your business being successful. My name is António Lucena de Faria, and I'm the founder and CEO of ActionFlow. And I would like to invite you to go to ActionFlow.com, register for a free trial, and find out why ActionFlow is less stress, more success. Thank you very much.
Not really. I have to tell you, I'm not really proud of my presentation. And I think you noticed a few things, right? But those that know me well know that this was very hard work for me. It was really very hard work for me.
I'm Nicole from InLab News. We are here the second day of the Demo Conference Fall 2010. I'm joined by a very special guest, Andrew Mason, who is the founder of one of my favorite companies.
Okay, thank you very much. So here we are. Yeah, well, the thing I'll tell you is the following. It was really hard work for me because I had to memorize everything. Every word that I said, I knew it by heart. I still do. And that looked very mechanical. It looked very mechanical. I knew everything. All the different seconds that I had, between each of the words. It was very, very difficult for me. And I think that was one of the first lessons. Never go to a stage, and have it so in such a... You're not there just to... There's no emotion in this thing. Okay? And I'm telling you a story that is a true story. I really had a friend of mine that had that situation. He was very successful, and one day things finished for him. He was very young, and it was because of too much stress, really. And we felt strongly that we could help this type of persons avoid the situation. But that you cannot really get from there. Okay? It was very hard work, but I think emotion was missing. But that's not my lesson. This is not my lesson. This is just something that if I had to do it in the future, and I sometimes have to do something like this, I wouldn't do it this way. Okay? But it was not the pitching. Yes?
May I ask a question about
Oh, please.
this one? Just for curiosity, who was responsible for writing the first content? I mean,
Me.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. I did
accounted from the first task
from the
different
everything.
departments.
Yes. The way it works is it's a big stage, and on stage I was there, and then on the side, Sarah, which was working with me at that time, was running the computer. Right? And so when you see her hand moving on the iPad, that's Sarah. And even that, it was choreographed to perfection. I mean, we did so many trials, you cannot imagine. So everything worked perfectly according to the script. But there was something missing there, wasn't it? Yeah, there was something missing. And I think you can see it. Now, regarding technology, and I want you to know that we were at the time one of the first companies in Portugal invited to be a BizSpark startup. So we were on BizSpark. I think we were one of the first ones that were here in Portugal invited to be on BizSpark. And we had all the technology that Microsoft had available at that time. Everything was done on the cloud, on Azure. Everything was done on the very best technology that we could find. And we had an outstanding team of developers. Very good guys. And so, yeah, in terms of technology, we couldn't ask for anything better than what we did. The customers, the customers, we thought that we knew the customers. And I think this is, as you'll see later when I tell you about what are the lessons out of this thing, for me, and you will be able also to share what you think are also additional lessons, I'm sure. But through this, I had started several companies by then. And so I thought, well, I know everything about small and medium-sized businesses. Because I had already worked on these companies. I had to manage them. And I had a few running. I thought it was something that I knew a lot. So we were targeting small, medium-sized, fast-growing companies. And we were looking at our customer as the founder and the CEO or the senior manager, people that could make the decisions, that were living that stressful life that ended up not very well for my friend. And we were targeting something from 5 to 100 employees, service sector, and English. I had by then spent 4 years until 1986 in the US. But in 2010, when I did this presentation, my English was a little rusty, so yeah, that could have been done better. But at least I could express myself in English. And we were looking for 15 million a market of 15 million people just in the US, 15 million customers, small, medium-sized businesses just in the US that fit the criteria that you see there. But we were also looking at Canada and Europe, any other place where people would speak English. We had a marketing plan, which you can see here. We had a lot of work done in terms of social media. Well, let me rephrase this. We had a lot of things planned to do regarding social media. We also had a lot of things that were planned for search engine optimization. And we had a company that was taking care of our PR. We were planning also doing some partnerships. And we thought maybe we can spend some time. At that time, AdWords and Google was already very interesting, so we can spend some money here. And we felt strongly that we needed a sales office in the US, and also that we needed some advertising, traditional media, magazines, newspapers, all that stuff. So that was our plan. We had a fantastic team. And I really believe that this is, it's amazing the people that we have with us. We had an operations director, we had a function analyst, and we had a CTO. I've worked a lot with people on technology side, and I have a lot of people that developed software during many years. And Sam by far was the best that ever worked with me. We did not have a marketing and sales director. Big mistake. We recruited. We also did not have a social media marketing specialist. And of course, no partnership development specialist, no customer support specialist. Okay, now you can see where I'll get soon regarding something that you could see probably will not help a lot, right? Now, our revenue model was simple. We wanted to base everything on a freemium model, so you would be able to, not a freemium trial, you have a trial, and then at the end of the trial, you would pay a membership fee. And there were 3 levels, 29, 49, and 98. And we were also, we wanted to sell our processes, our workflows for different complexities. So some that were more extensive, more difficult would be on the high range, or high-end range. Others would be really expensive, like 29. Now, believe me, this compared with work that we have done before is, there's no comparison. I mean, it's really very, very expensive. And then we also want to make people willing and make them use the platform to build their own processes. And this is actually one of the first mistakes that I think we made, because we were targeting two different things at the same time. We were trying to sell a platform for people to have inside their companies and run their processes, and at the same time we were trying to build a marketplace so that other people could come to our platform and create this process and sell it. And those are very different businesses. We were trying to do everything at the same time. And we thought strongly that we could get around $1,000 per year of revenue per customer. Now, we were targeting some metrics, the ones that you can see here. So, during the second semester of 2010, we wanted 5,000 visits per day, well, 500. 1,000 trial users, 100 paying customers, and you can see what we were planning to do. We had some competition, but not much. At the time, I don't think there were any totally cloud-based business process management solutions available. Any. I think we were really the first ones, and especially we were the first ones targeting small to medium-sized businesses. But there were some competition, indirect competition, like PPM suppliers. And there were also people that were selling checklists and process diagram tools, and a few task managers without process, without sequence of tasks. In terms of financials, yes?
Just a question. Do you have any idea what is your competition now?
Today?
Yes.
There is some companies that are already there in that space. Some of the large BPM suppliers understood that they also couldn't stay just on the large companies, they have to move down. But there is a company out of Colombia that is doing very, very well, and Visagi, I think they have managed. They did an outstanding job in terms of getting that market.
What's the name? Sorry.
Visagi, V-I-Z-A-G-I, Visagi.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great company. Very interesting product. Now this is the financial plan that we show the investors. Well, I should correct that. That I show myself. And besides, one thing I can tell you, we were right regarding the second semester of 2010. We did spend 325,000 euros. That's not dollars. It's actually it was euros. It says dollars. Yeah. Well, okay, good. But around 300,000 euros. That's how much we put into the project. Well, that's how much I put into the project, because no one put any money other than which again, it's not smart. Not smart at all. So yeah, I would not recommend doing that, and I will not do that again. But yeah, that was true. I was so convinced, I was so sure that this was a given. I mean, everyone will rush to start using the system. Everyone will pay their membership. Everyone will be so happy to buy all these processes, and some of these people will also couldn't wait to start building flows and start selling them on our platform. So we were right regarding the S2 of 2010. We were less right on the following year. We were clearly wrong on the two other years, 2012 and 2013. As soon you will know why. Okay, so yeah, we put a lot of money. I mean, when I say we, it's the only company that I have, and me and my wife. And so yeah, we invested in this thing. This is also right here. It's wrong here. Okay, it's really wrong here. It's so wrong that I'm even embarrassed to tell you. But I'll tell you, some of you know. We had out of demo. Demo is a great place for you to create awareness, because all the media are there. We were on TV, we were on magazines, we were on newspapers, all that stuff. So there were a lot of people that came and did start using the system. Well, not true. they did register. They entered their name and their email and all that stuff. And some of them even have the courage to run 1 or 2 processes during the trial. And the trial, I think, was something like 3 months. And, okay, I'll tell. I only had one customer, paying customer. It's true. I only had one customer from Egypt. That's what I got. I got the customer from Egypt after spending all the money that you can see here. And even my customer from Egypt, maybe because he was lonely, being the only customer, the only paying customer, he only lasted for 6 months. After 6 months, he left. And so we were really in a very bad spot. We had a very nice roadmap. We were looking for a lot of money in terms of seed capital. This is stuff that these days you can see often when you go to these investment pitch things. This is what we were telling. We wanted a Series A for $500 million, post-valuation of $2 million, 25% stake, which means, looking at now is obviously 2 things. One is, the valuation. Yeah, 0. So I was lucky because I didn't get any invested, because otherwise it would be very embarrassing to tell them that they spent all the money for nothing. We even had an exit strategy, clear exit strategy. We knew that if this was going to be a success, EPM suppliers would be keen to buy us out. People that were on ERP were also looking at small, medium-sized businesses, so they may be also willing to buy us out. Consulting companies that were now starting to understand that business was changing so fast that they needed to find other revenue sources. We even felt that maybe a book publisher would buy us, because now we have a way for them to transfer their knowledge that is written in something that is actionable, a process. And of course a telco, because this is all based on the web, right? Well, that didn't happen either. No. And we did everything by the book. I mean, we had a very good work plan, and every week we were meeting, every week we were discussing, and we had due dates, and we had all the tasks. This is 2 pages of our work plan, and we actually were able to do everything within our planning. The only problem that we have is the one I told you, which of course is a big problem, right? Yeah, we had a team that I told you about, and we had 2 offices. One office here in Welsh, near Passage, and another one in Kutia. Outstanding office space. Very nice, except in room. Which I didn't have to go there that often. Because in July 2013 we had to ask for what we call in Portugal legal insolvency, which was very quickly agreed for obvious reasons. Yeah, one customer. So lesson number 1. This for you guys that know what we are doing at Fabrica Startups, you know that this is that's what makes us tick. Is the fact that we know for sure that if you do not have customers, your business is never going to be a success, right? That this is obvious. And the thing that we know also is that there is ways for you to find out that before you spend a lot of money. And we didn't do it. On ActionFlow, everything was done by the team. We were in a closed loop. We were so smart. We were so intelligent. We knew everything about the industry. You know, we were really, no one could come to us and tell us, this makes no sense. Because we knew everything. We knew so much that in the end, only one guy. Okay, so, never do a project without talking with your customers. And we never did that. So of course this is a stupid thing that I did. The other thing is this was not really profitable. Because I just told you about what we were planning in terms of revenue. But on the other side, we already have a lot of cost. We had a big team. And all of them were employees. Okay? Everyone that you can see there, they were very good. Also very expensive. And when you have very good people that are very expensive, and you only get one customer, then you are in trouble, even if you have a lot of money. It will come to you one day, and it did. It lasted 2 years, but at the end I had to tell them, sorry, big mistake, not going anyplace. The other thing that you notice, I'm sure, is the fact that we didn't do any marketing. The truth is that we missed one of the most important things. Also, second most important. First one is we didn't do any validation with customers. The second is we didn't do any marketing. We had a very nice go-to-market strategy, very well laid down, lots of details. It was a nice piece of paper. But we forgot about just one thing. People to implement the marketing plan. As you saw that when I showed you the team, we had lots of technical people. And even people that knew the business in terms of functionality of the thing. We had no one that was in charge of marketing. And of course, no marketing, no customers. Because after demo, the demo is an interesting thing because you see it's like a spike. Peter, I think, told me it's more or less when I drink sugar, right? Drink sugar, eat sugar, or have sugar in my coffee, whatever. And then just a few days later, you start seeing going down, going down, going down. It's really depressing. And you need to do something about it. Of course, you need to do something else other than just do a big event in Silicon Valley in Santa Rosa. We didn't do that. And so, it is no surprise that the ones that start trying also start noticing that everyone was leaving. And when everyone is leaving, if some of you here start leaving, I'm sure that everyone else is going. Yeah.
Just one question. You were telling that you didn't do no marketing, so by consequence you didn't get any customers. But in terms of your pitch, you were searching like an investor could open like a marketing network for you, or
no, not really.
Just an investment?
No, all stupid things that one can do, I managed to do it. Because I even thought that I had the money. I just went to Silicon Valley because it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, it was. No one had ever gone to Silicon Valley and make a presentation. Now, the secret that people don't tell you is that you pay to go to Silicon Valley. Okay. On demo, yes, there are lots of people that want to do it that want to pay demo to be allowed to spend 5-6 minutes on the stage, and you pay 20,000. So everyone has to pay. 20,000 is the minimum that you have to pay, because once you are in Silicon Valley, then all kinds of people start appearing around you, and they all want something. Okay? And of course, they are the experts on bringing you investors. They are the experts on bringing you the social media gurus and the bloggers and all that stuff, and everyone needs some money. So yeah, I thought at the time that I didn't need money, so I wasn't really convinced that I was going to get any investors. And it's like everything in life. If yourself are not convinced that this thing is going to happen, it's not going to happen, right?
For example, how did you came up? This may sound like a question from Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, but how did you came up with a $2 million valuation of the company?
Oh, that's the easy part. I just invented that. Of course, everyone does that. It's the truth. And do you believe in any of the valuations of something that doesn't exist? No, it doesn't exist, right? What can you say? You can say whatever you wish. Within reason. If you can call that reason. Yeah. True. Yeah, so it was, you look at what people do, and everyone more or less was talking about same numbers, for more or less same reasons. So, yeah, 2 million, it's okay. Less than that would be nice, right? Would be,
yeah, sure.
Why would I go to Silicon Valley for less than 2 million that I didn't want? Yeah, I'm laughing, but I'm not really laughing. Okay? It was hard. It was really hard. In all my life of starting companies, and before that I had another failure. he had actually gave me the money that I spent on his project. Well, let's put it this way. I had a big project at the end of 2002 that didn't go very well. And then I was getting out of that project. I sold my shares for €1. And I met people, some of the people that were working with me, they came to me and they had this great idea. And so we decided, the three of us, to develop this thing. And it grew very quickly, and it was very good. So I got lots of money. And then I didn't spend it all on ActionFlow, but close. Okay. Close. I spent the rest on the other stuff. Yeah. Okay, good. So, never, even if you have a lot of money, never start a business if you are not sure that people care about what you are going to do for them. You have to go and talk to them. You have to interview them, you have to do surveys, you have to present them with mock-ups, with wireframes, with prototypes, and you have to get their feedback, and you have to incorporate that feedback. And then the second thing, if you do that, and if just you were lucky and make some adjustments in your business model, and then you actually can launch it. Don't forget, after that, you do need to spend a lot of money and time and effort into getting customers, and that means marketing. You need to do marketing. And today there is lots of ways to do it. Of course, you can spend a lot of money very quickly, but you don't even need to do that. The problem is that we had the money, but we didn't spend the money on marketing. We spent the money on development because we were geeks. And geeks like software development, right? Yeah.
So you spent most of your money on salary?
Yeah. Not on my salary.
But you spend most of your money on salaries?
Yes. Yes, true. Exactly. Yeah.
Were you also customers of your team, or?
I'm sorry?
Were you also customers of your team?
Good question. Very good question. Luís, éramos utilizadores do ActionFlow?
No.
Okay. So now you have the answer. Yeah. No. I said I would say the truth, so no. No. Yeah. No. Okay, good. More questions? Because this is my, I don't think I have more lessons. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I have this one. This is also a very important lesson. And also, for you to be aware, it's not smart to start a business when everyone except yourself are employees of that business and are actually going to do fantastic work, but until the day you stop paying them. Because that happened. In the same day that I couldn't afford to pay them, everyone ran away. As a matter of fact, some were smarter. They start running away before. And, yeah. So, it needs a team, and it needs people that are committed, people that believe strongly as you do. And besides, for you to get someone that at least believes as strongly as you do is already interesting, because it tells you that it's not just you that believe in the thing. In my case, I think I was truly the only one that believed in the thing, because, well, when the money stopped, everything else stopped. There was no interest in keeping it going. So, yeah, no commitment, no business. So what else? What else do you think? I don't have any more slides. Well, I have 20 reasons why startups fail. Yeah, we could have more. But no market need, for sure, on the top. And that's exactly what happened. There was no market need for that. We did the event, and we had attention from people for at least a certain period of time. But we just could not get enough customers. We didn't convert. We had trials, but we had no users. And of course, we ran out of cash. And I think the team was not the right one. It was very capable. It was fantastic in terms of software development. Clearly, it was lacking marketing skills. And more importantly, we were not partners. The relationship was a relationship of me paying for them to work. And there's nothing wrong about that, of course. But it's not sufficient when things start to get sour. And besides, when you have that type of relationship, it's more difficult for them to come to you and tell you, don't spend your money on this stupid thing. Yeah. It's harder. Yeah. So no right team. I don't think we were out competed with competition because there was no product. Pricing, poor product. No, I think really poor marketing for sure. Yes.
About the relationship with your team. In retrospect, how would you counteract that type of relationship and that boss-employee relationship?
Well, I think the way to do it is always to have a team of people that really want to be your partner, and they want to partner with you. They want to share the risks and share the rewards. And that was not the case. They were being paid. It's not critical for them whether the thing was going to be successful or not, because since I had money, I could maybe come up with something else. So you need to have someone to work with you. You know, starting a business by yourself, and I did that sometimes in the past, but the most successful businesses that I've done were in partnership with others. You need to have someone that is courage, has the courage, the guts to come to you and tell you, this is not the path, you have to move the other way.
But would it be possible if you're paying the person?
Yeah, when things work fine and everything seems going, you know, when there's no problems. When problems start to appear, yeah. I honestly believe that, well, let me put it this way. I do not recommend that you start a business by yourself, especially if it's a technology intensive and business that is business. This is not, it's B2B, but it's B2B with too many Bs. You know, in a sense, it's a large market, and you need to have the willingness and the resilience. This is always going to be tough. You know, maybe if we had better marketing and listened to our customers and didn't put as many functionality in the thing, maybe that would have, and we were able to keep it going for one more year, maybe that would have been a success. I don't know. I will never know. Yeah, well,
Quick question about the relationship with the employees. Is not offering a little bit of equity a smart decision so
Yes.
that they get engaged with the company?
It is a smart decision. Yes, it is a smart decision. Yes, yes. Yeah.
But you didn't consider that? No.
Not at that time.
Okay.
No, I was too full of myself. Yeah.
Your friend who passed away at age 35, the company he started, did he start it alone? Or with partners?
No. But he didn't pass away. Almost. Yeah. But he was 35. And he did, and it was at 20 million, and very successful. No. No, we started with others, but it was just too much. And at that time, our concern was growing a company is tough. And especially if you grow too fast, you lose track of what's going on. And the problems start to eat you from all the sides. So you need to have a little more structure. And if you have a process in place, and even if it's just an understanding of the way the thing should work, that will give you a little more, you know, less stress. No, but it didn't pass away. Truth is that he didn't. And I don't say that he did. I was careful about that because it's not true.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was giving the impression that something really bad happened to him, which did. But, you know, just a few weeks later he decided to do something else and he moved away. It was very smart because he sold his share for a lot of money. And not that long ago the company went into problems too. So yeah, sometimes things happen and we don't really understand why, but there's a purpose. Yes, so more questions. Or are we done? What time do we have? Shan? Did I keep my promise?
Hey, it's on time.
Oh, good. Yeah, fantastic, yes.
Okay. I'm a marketing manager, so
I wish I knew sooner.
to an extent, that's the usual people on this area. Just get them, these professionals of marketing, when things don't go okay, not from the start.
It's a short start.
I also did some mistakes on my business. I started alone. I had a product. It's not a kind of a marketing thing or problem. And I don't have a question. I just want to tell you something about the presentation. It's clearly you don't have a communication strength because you didn't show from the beginning what is the benefit or what is the psychology of the buying motivation of your customers. You just tell about the product and the geek thing about how it works and not about the psychology of the buying. Why do I need this? Not
and you are talking about the presentation on the video, my presentation today?
The video.
Or both?
and I did some mistakes like that. When we are doing it, we feel the strength. At alone is difficult, and the product you may think it's great, but we have to make it more targeting. Position.
Geeks are a special breed. They really are strange people. Any more geek here? Sorry. But I was, I'm an introvert still today. But at least I'm starting to learn how to share something that I was not used to do.
We are planning to make some process about social media marketing in your software, but you don't know anything about it. Sorry, but you just have the marketing manager, so you're making like.
That's what Thank you very much. Yes. Again, I wish I knew sooner. You would have saved me a lot of money. Yes.
And very shortly, I would like to thank you first of all for opening up to us and sharing your failure story, and also reminding us not to laugh too much, because we can laugh, but we know it's serious, and we know I can imagine it's been some strenuous years for you with such big investment and no return. So I would like to ask you, is this one of the motivations that led you to be the director of Fabrica Startups and to be here today sharing your discomfort with us to